Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Friday afternoon Zoom edition. And in honor of the latest Chinese FUD, you can see my background here. I swear, but China bans Bitcoin every other week, it seems like. So I don't understand why this is news. They're going to do everything they can. Despite their forays into capitalism, they're going to stomp out anything that challenges their authority. So crypto certainly does that. This shouldn't be news, but again, it seems to be what pushed down the markets, yesterday, the day before. We've had so many dumps in September, I can't keep them straight. There's the 7th, there's the 19th, there's yesterday, day before. Anyway, so it's been a tough month, as September often is for crypto. Let's give Bitcoin a closer look. Also, I'll share my screen. And we'll see if I can do this correctly this time. You guys should see my 4-hour Bitcoin Binance chart.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying? Good. Okay. So like I said, this is a 4-hour chart, and we've just had since we had the dump on the 7th. We were recovering from that, looking pretty good. Bitcoin got up to 48.8. Looks like it was challenging 49, and then dumped on the 17th. On the 21st, it started to show signs of life again, up to 45, and then it dropped again yesterday. So, or actually early this morning, to 42, and then at least it's a higher low. I guess that's something. But now we're in this little pennant, and see if we can push our way out, say punch through right about here, bounce, and then take off. That's what we're looking to do. If this doesn't hold, if this 40,000 support doesn't hold, then we could be in for another trip down into the 30s. So Ethereum is looking about the same. It's kind of mimicking Bitcoin now. It had set itself apart to some degree in August and earlier in September, but now it's had a big crash down on the 21st. It's did recover up to about 3150 and then down again below 3000. Thought we had some pretty good strength at the 3000 support level, but it didn't hold. So now we're looking at like 2650 area. There's a couple touches down here around 2750, and here about 2800. So, good price for Ethereum to buy if you're interested. Probably be between 26 and 2800. It does look like it's challenging 3000 again. Most of the weekends in the last couple months have been bullish, so we'll see if that happens again this weekend. But again, Bitcoin and Ethereum just haven't been very reliable this month. Any questions or comments on Bitcoin and Ethereum, the market overall, before we move on to Altcoin Alert? All right. Altcoin Alert, what is popping today? I did the sort in the morning. I'm on the altcoin radar, and I've got easy mode off. You might remember we do have some other settings in this that they started a few weeks ago. You can go easy mode on with the dashboard and just kind of get a smaller amount of information with the major coins, the major hot coins. I don't particularly care for this. I want all the information, so I'm going to turn this off, go to the altcoin radar, and then this is a view that more resembled the view we had before some of the upgrades that were meant to help some of the new people. So just sort of, quantify and make it all smaller and less cluttered. But like I said, I want all the information. I want to see the AA score. I want to be able to sort it. I also like to do sorts by trading activity, social activity, elder impulse, hourly and daily, and sometimes I do the sentiment as well, but not very often. So we'll start with the AA score. I just sorted it. Number one coins is XRT. I'm not that familiar with it, but we'll give it a look. Look like it's on Huobi. or Hobie.
That's Solana. We're on Solana.
We're on
Yeah.
Solana. You're not seeing
Mm.
XRT?
Yeah, I'm
No.
seeing XRT.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay, I've got a few different windows up here, so. And we will look at Solana shortly. We're on the 5-minute chart. Well, let's take a bigger picture of this. This coin hit its all-time highs in April. We had the big dump then, and it really hasn't done much to recover. So it's got room to move. Guess that's one way to look at it. We had a big crazy spike up here on the 21st. That's interesting. Yeah, 20% move in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it
Sometimes
came straight back down again.
sometimes those things happen. Does someone just kind of lean over on their keyboard and accidentally buy a million, tokens or something? I don't know, but like Craig said, it dropped immediately. So that's not really something we can hang our hat on. Okay, big dip down here this morning and then working its way back up on the 5-minute chart. You see these horizontal lines, that means there's no trades for that time frame. That's a sign of a low volume coin, which generally doesn't interest me. So I've encouraged everybody I've talked to have significant volume in any coin you trade, so that it's fluid or it's liquid. You can get in and out of it fairly quickly if you need to. And since we don't have that here, I think I'm just going to move on. Let's look at something that I know has
Are you
plenty
talking
of
about the
volume.
bonds are banned?
No, the candles that are.
Oh, the candles are horizontal. Okay.
Yeah. So. But the second entry is Axie. So let's look at that one. I actually put some alerts on this morning, but they haven't gone off yet. I was trying to catch bullish or bearish divergence. And yeah, this was too early. And this I just turned off for this. That would have been a good one there, and bearish divergence. Why did I not get that? I'll have to investigate that later. Anyway, let's look at the day chart first on Axie. Big movement since July. Hit its high here on September 4th, crashed down quite a bit. Lost 46% and then recovered almost half that. So this one's been volatile. I like to trade it when I see something, a setup I like. We're going to see this on a lot of the coins that happened this morning. Well, on the 4-hour actually. Anyway, let's look at the 1-hour first. Yeah, a big drop this morning and then a strong recovery. Sorry, that's a couple days ago. Bouncing between time frames, not keeping up. All right, 5-minute chart. This is what I want to talk about. So most of you guys have seen the 1, 2, 3 dip video. Here we have a squeeze, a little bubble, squeezes in again, then a much bigger bubble. That's usually a sign of bigger volume coming in or leaving. So you've got your 1, 2, 3, actually a 4th dip. Some traders don't count the first one. So this, if you don't count the first one, this is a 1, 2, 3 dip. If you do, you're into a 4th dip. Maybe got in a little too early. That's okay, because this one makes a nice move. I usually like to see after the 3rd dips a green candle. So had I been up at 3 a.m., I would have done, probably wanted to go to the SMA line at least, which is 4.8%, and it would have accomplished that. A few hours later at 7 a.m. at 4.7%. There is there's some more resistance here from yesterday, 6.6%. Could have gone for that and caught that, right here, about 11, 12 hours later. Both of these would have been excellent day trades. So it's a pretty good example of the 1, 2, 3 dip. At the moment, we're on the top of the Bollinger Band on the 5-minute, and it is drifting down. So
CJ,
yeah.
does the 1, 2, 3 dip work in reverse as well, like from the top down? Like you
Yes,
can,
my mentor, Jeremy Barnett, loves to trade that. He does it on larger time frames though, the hour and the 4-hour. And I can show you that trade setup, but it's more of an iCoin Pro thing. So if you remind me on Monday, we can talk about it then, but it's kind of
Right.
outside the scope of this particular show. But to answer the short answer to your question is yes.
Yeah.
If you want to go short, if you use some leverage, and you can even, here's a nifty thing. If you click Alt I on your screen, it'll invert. So now these numbers are going down as the values go down as they go up, and it looks more like what you're used to seeing on a 1, 2, 3 dip. So well, we don't count that. And you count the green instead of
that's a nice tidbit of information.
All right. Glad
yeah,
I
as
could
long
help.
as you don't go long instead of short.
Exactly.
Remember where you are, click the right button. So, here we're down 2% from that. But yeah, everything's reversed. So anyway, back to where we were. Now, Axie might bounce off the SMA line, and then this white line is the 200 EMA. A lot of traders use these to determine the direction of the market. They tend to use them more on the 1-hour and 4-hour and day charts, but so if it bounces off this and works its way back up, that could be a quick trend trade. Like, let's say it bounces and you catch it right about here, back to where it was, retracing, 2.5% in 10 to 30 minutes. That's a good day trade too. So any more questions or any questions on Axie? I think we had SOL on our list too. It's very bullish, barely sneaking in at 80.5, but we'll give it a look. All right, the day chart.
Been trading well on Sol.
Yeah, this has been a good one, at least until it rose. I mean, while it was rising most of the month in August and September, but it crashed pretty big too. So,
well, I've been trading short on past week or so.
Nice. We talk about leverage a little bit on our program here, but most of the folks who are trading are doing spot trading. I just mention it from time to time because that's a lot of what I do, but I am trying to keep focused more on the spot trading because that's really where you need to start to learn. And most of the people who attend the show or an Altcoin Alert want to learn how to get better entries. So that's what we're going to talk about most of the time. But yeah, if we want to talk shorting and longing, we can do that probably at a different time. All right, so it's down 40%, and had some recovery last couple of days, but dipping again on the day chart. On the 1-hour, let's see where the recent trend is. We've got room to move up to 170 on the 1-hour chart. More recent would be, some pretty strong resistance here at about 150, 152. So keep that in mind. On the 5-minute chart, again, here's a nice dip sequence here that would have been good to catch had I been up early. But for you East Coast people, that would have been a pretty sweet ride. All right, at the moment, it looks a lot like the Axie chart we just looked at. It punched through the top of the Bollinger Band on the 5-minute. It's dipping a little bit. The SMA line and the EMA here are pretty close. You might be able to catch a trend trade if it bounces off this. About to 1.52%. Doesn't sound that glamorous, but as I have said many times, if you add these to your balance, on a daily or weekly basis, your balance can increase pretty quickly. So
this almost looks identical to Ethereum, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to see that a lot with the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts. And
Now, is
the
that
other
because
alts,
they're network type, they're layer one?
it's not that correlated that specifically. It's really just most of the coins, 90% of the coins follow Bitcoin and Ethereum to some degree. Then there's some outliers, some stragglers. So actually I got the wrong list up. My favorite retracement list. So if I sort, you can, if you create lists on TradingView, you can sort them by the change. Like, and you see how we have a couple that have really pumped today: Seller, Ren, XTZ, Luna. Like Seller didn't really have much of a dip with you know, this is the 5-minute chart. It ignored Bitcoin's dip this morning pretty much, and then shot up today like crazy. So
Yeah.
so this is another sort you can use with just the coins you like to trade, and just look for what's really hot, or sort of the opposite way, what's really not. You know, these are the ones to, you can look at it two ways. You avoid these ones because they're tanking, or look at them and maybe set some alerts, see if they're due for a comeback. So
See an opportunity.
that's right. All right. Let's see what else we can find in Altcoin Alert. Anyway, I didn't really discuss try to discuss a strategy or an option for you guys to pick up some of these coins. All right, so on SNOL, we talked about the short-term, you know, trend trade. You can also set an alert down here. Probably go a little bit above this dump, right about here around 131, and see if it dips over later tonight or over the weekend. You can put in a low buy order for that. Just bear in mind, you know, if it crashes big and you put in a low buy order at 130 and you wake up and it's, you know, at 90, that's the risk you take when you leave open buy orders when you're sleeping. But in that situation, I would usually just buy another order and, you know, ladder buy in that one. And then I've also discussed setting alerts on the RSI. You know, I like to do it on the 15-minute chart when I'm trying to catch a, you know, a situation like this. Because on the 15-minute chart, you know, when it dips down below 30, and which occurred at, you know, 2:45 a.m. If I go over to the 5-minute chart, same time frame, you know, 2:45 is like the second dip. So probably wait for the third and then get in. A lot of times the 15-minute RSI will go off and you'll be in a third dip. So that's why I like that one. And if that went over your head, you know, just do a search on YouTube for crypto CJ RSI, and you'll see some of my videos that I've talked about setting alerts on the RSI. All right. Let's do a different sort. We'll do a social activity sort. John brought this to my attention because a lot of times we'll get the very bullish on the long-term sentiment next to the bullish on the Elder Impulse Daily, and these are the two we like the most for our non-AA score sorts. Or catching, you sort by the Elder Impulse or the long-term sentiment and get these values here. So this corresponds to Ren. I do a sort outside the AA score. I'm looking for an AA score to be neutral or better. My friend Federico is sending a text to the wrong person. Anyway, so we're neutral or better on the AA score, usually neutral or better on these two, but we've got fire. Now, this is a really good value here. Upper value is 13%. I'm usually looking for 5% or higher. The average of these two on the 1 hour projected range is over 5%. That's rare. Bullish, 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 29.6. So yeah, this one's pretty good. So let's check out Ren. So Ren had a crazy pump here for no particular reason, fell right back down again, but then trended back up. Let's take the over. Let's get a bigger picture. So Ren has nearly recovered to from its all-time high back in February, 1.75, and today it's up to 1.20 down to 110. So it's just made better progress than many others. It's not all the way up there yet, but that's so there's still some room to move in the big picture. On the 1 hour, it's hit its recent high just a couple hours ago. The 5 minute, I think we missed this one. So there was a few dips late in the morning, and now it's kind of going sideways on this trend line I have. Trying to buy here and try to ride it to the top of the Bollinger Band. It's kind of risky. It's about 6%. Some resistance here at about 3%. Yeah, I think we're too late on this one, but we do have some support here, here, and here. Right around $1.95, that area. This one got as low as 88 cents. So if you want to get in on Ren, you might want to set an alert down here or do the RSI alert.
But CJ, because the scores were so strong on AA, what would that indicate for the future here? Like, you know, like across the board, they're just like really bullish.
Right.
So is that one like definitely like just wait for it to drop and then get in for sure? It's like, are we talking like the next day, next 3 days? We could probably see that really take it on.
Yeah, in the big picture, I use AA to make me aware that certain coins are moving. And after that, I do my own analysis. I generally don't rely on AA anymore at that point, but a lot of traders do, and that's okay. So to answer your question, since we have a neutral score on Ren, despite all this good information, AA thinks that this one's probably played out already, or it would have a higher score.
Oh, I didn't see the neutral on the.
Yeah.
AA. Gotcha. Okay.
Now that's not a deal breaker for me. I'll still look at it anyway. And had I had this information, you know, around here,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, I would have been interested. Definitely here, but the information was probably different then. So, and then, you know, I use some of that information to catch a trend. I much prefer, especially my spot trading, to do dip trades to catch these moves, and that's so they can, you know, get back up to the SMA line like this one. You know, it would have been 7%. That would have been great. And then if I'm feeling, you know, really ambitious, I might look at this kind of retrace here, see some resistance, and try to get up there. You know, 12%. You know, with this information here on Ren, it makes me want to just look at it and see if I can do something with it in the near future, tonight, tomorrow morning, something like that. But of course, if it does dip, and some of this information will change. So I think one of the things they teach in Altcoin Alert is to buy the high AA scores and then sell when they drop below, you know, into bearish territory or something like that. I've never done that. So
I think they said 20 if I remember right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that.
Now that might be a really good strategy. Just at the time I started using this, I'd already had about 8 months training and experience as a day trader. So I had my own, you know, my own way of doing things, and some of those things I'm trying to share with you guys. But I just wanted to know what coin should I look at? You know, there's thousands of them. So that's what I use AA for primarily.
Yeah, they're
Right.
not all on every exchange either.
No, they're not. And I'm on 6 or 7 now, but I mostly trade, my spot trading, I've moved to Coinbase Pro for the most part. I do a little bit on KuCoin, and Binance is going to kick me off soon.
Yeah,
So I don't
I
even
like
do it on there
KuCoin.
anymore. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
KuCoin.
yeah.
Okay, so that was the social activity sort and Ren. We can also sort by the Elder Impulse Daily. And we've got a bullish score here on AVAX, which is Avalanche, which has been popping lately. Trading activity is good. Social activity and labeled as normal, but down a little bit. And that's okay. Elder Impulse hourly is neutral, but bullish on daily. I'm more interested in daily scores than hourly ones. Long-term is neutral. So this isn't, I'd like to see some bullish on long-term sentiment as well. But see, we kind of got that here on CeeLo. Neutral, fire, above 3%, slightly above 5% here. Bullish, bullish, bullish. We're bearish on short-term sentiment. Doesn't bother me that much. It's up only 5%, so it might have some room to move. So I think CeeLo is worth a look. Okay, it's on Binance, Bittrex, KuCoin. We'll probably get some good volume on USD pair. USDT pair on Binance will have probably some good volume. All right, the big picture on the day chart. It's been on Binance since January. It's gone beyond its all-time high on this exchange. So that's an issue. And recently on the hour, it went as high as a 826. It's at 770 now. And okay, got some interference, muting her. I think that took care of it. All right, on the 5-minute, top of the Bollinger Band already. That's not a good entry point, so I wouldn't do that. Again, we've got some dipping this morning. Probably try to get in around the 650, 640 area if you're interested in this one, and try to get it retraced back to where it is now. So maybe tonight or tomorrow, you get in, say 650. I'd be looking for probably 5 to 10% on this one. It's got some really nice room to move to get back to where it is now, but it might just keep pumping. It's risky, I think, to buy up here. If you want to try to catch this trend or ride this trend to this resistance here at 810, that'd be a nice trade of 6%. Just be ready to ladder buy if you do something like that. So, and I don't want to be cavalier about ladder buying. It's it's a good strategy to double up your position when it goes against you, but you can only do it so long. And if you're in a bear market, you could get stuck that way and something you don't want to be in. So as traders, we've got to balance our risk with each action we take. Money management's really important. So, all right, well, that's CeeLo. I've done a few different sorts and some AA scores. So that's about all I have for my proactive portion of the show. I like to throw it open to you guys to see if there are any coins you want to look at, any altcoin alert strategies you want to discuss. Oh, are we shy today? Usually
Is the
someone
mic working now?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, I've been reading the instruction book while.
Well, you were for about 2 sentences. Now your volume is low again.
Really, I didn't touch anything. I swear to God.
Uh,
All right, I'm just gonna shut up. It's okay.
No, it's
I was
okay.
I was gonna tell you my story about Cody this morning.
Okay. Just talk loud.
Okay. All right, I'll get the dog in here in a minute barking at me.
All
Go look at Cody for a second.
right.
I also got some Solana and some something else on the dip this morning, but those are not day trades. Those are just things I was
Okay.
packing away.
Remember, project your
Cody-
voice, please.
Okay. My outside voice.
Yes, outside voice is acceptable in this situation.
Okay. This morning I got up and the altcoin alert was like good everywhere except the AA score. It was very bullish. It was like 7 or 8% on the where you look for 5.
Yeah, the 1 hour
Um,
projected range.
Yeah. Everything was good except it had sort of a middling AA score. So I thought, okay, well, I'll get a little bit just because I like everything else on the line. So I picked up some then, and then the rest of the day it's just sort of been flat. I mean, it's like bouncing around. I got it like 50, and it got up as high as like 53 or something. So I'm thinking, all right, well, it's supposed to be 2 or 3 days on the altcoin alert stuff. So I'm sitting here sort of waiting to see what happens with this. But it was one of those cases where there was a big contradiction between the AA score and everything else on the line. So when that happens, you just have to make a decision. Are you going to like just do the buy 80 and up and sell 20 and under, or are you going to look at all the page and sort of, and look elsewhere online and make a decision to get some? So that was my story. I got a little bit of Cody based on alert pointing me in that direction. And so far it's not like screaming hot, but we'll see what happens over the weekend.
Okay. Well, you said you got it at 50 and it was up to 53. According to my calculations, that's over a 6% profit. That's a really good day trade.
Yeah.
But you want to hold it longer, right?
I probably do.
Okay. So in my mind,
here because I was trying to go ahead.
Yeah, in my mind, AA did its job in that scenario because you got, more than 3% out of your trade from something that its indicator showed you. It wasn't the AA score necessarily. And we did talk, I think I don't know if you saw, we were talking about Ren earlier, which had a setup very similar to what you described, where everything was good except the AA score. But again, I look at AA as just a way to signal coins to me that I need to look at and then apply my own analysis. But again, if you want to use their 80-20 plan, that's fine. I don't trade that way, but I know others have and have had some success. So
well, I'm finding out. You always say know what kind of trader you are, and I'm
Yeah.
here because I'm not a day trader, and I'm trying to get your day trading mentality going. I'm more of a swing trader, so I got into it, and it shot up, and then I didn't get out of it. You would have gotten out of it.
Yeah, I would have been out, gone.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
That's that story.
All right. We'll see how John's swing trading Cody goes. Maybe you can update us on Monday.
Yeah, I'll talk to you on Monday. Tell you,
all right.
Tell you where I got stopped out.
All right. So that was a cool story. Anybody else have an AA story or a question or want to discuss a particular coin?
A question on the AA score. I know they're saying like it's a good chance of a 3% rise, right?
Yeah.
If it's above 80. It seems to me that I can sneeze and crypto will rise 3% or fluctuate. So my question is is that really enough of a percentage to like really make us look into something? I know you're saying like a 3% is a really good day trade. I'm just having some problems, like since it's so volatile, crypto is so volatile. I guess my expectations are higher than that.
Okay.
So where AA comes in is like, is that really a strong enough indicator by itself?
Well, if you're looking for moves more than that,
I'm willing to lower my expectations too.
I was going to
so I-
say you might want to temper those because
yeah.
and my training was the totally opposite of you. When I started this, I was looking for 1%. That's what I was
Oh,
taught.
okay.
Move your balance 1% a day, and with compounding, you'll have ridiculous money in a year. So that was very
Okay.
persuasive to me. So when I've been in this since July of last year. When I came in, and I saw that 3%. Whoa, that's triple. Sounds good to me. So I started using it to trade then, and well, July and August were pumping pretty well last year, and then September hit and it wasn't. So I realized I had to apply more of my technical analysis to what I saw in AA, and I saw nobody was teaching that in the CryptNation group on day trading, so I sort of started doing that myself. And anyway, sort of got off on a tangent there. Yeah, if you're a day trader and if you want to do it consistently, yeah, single digits are what you're going to see most of the time. The double digits are going to be the outliers.
Mhm.
And you're going to do everything right sometimes, and it's going to drop 10% on you out of nowhere. So, dealing with that is a big part of this, this endeavor as well. So, but you're right about 3%. To some degree, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but a sneeze can by Bitcoin definitely
Yeah.
will move the markets. But I was in something yesterday for 8 or 9 hours, and it wouldn't move more than about 3 or 4%, because I set alerts at 6%. That's something I've been doing recently. To let me know if I need to buy another position. So, and that alert didn't go off until the evening, and then it did, and then I bought another position, and then it shot up, and I got out. So,
Hmm.
but that's normal, 3%. If you want to make more than that, you'll have to stay in trades longer, usually. All
Yeah,
right,
makes sense. Thanks.
I heard a voice. Who was
CJ, it's
chiming in?
me.
Hey,
I have a question on these little 3% trades. It seems like, of course, I haven't done any of them, so I don't know. But it seems like your trading fees, buying the coin, getting out of there, selling the coin, could eat up your profit pretty quick.
Well,
I
it won't
guess
surpass a 3% profit. The worst one I've seen is Coinbase Pro, and I think that's 0.075%. So to get in and out, it's 0.15%. And if I'm making 3%, that's quite a bit more than 0.15%. So
okay.
you
Because
know,
it makes me wonder, okay, well, how much if you're investing a larger amount, I guess, that kind of takes care of it.
mhm.
I don't know. I guess my question would be, what would be a good investment part if you're wanting to make 3%? What do you need to invest?
Well, the exchanges calculate fees on percentages, so it doesn't really matter whether your trade is $10 or $10,000. The percentages, well, it might go down with $10,000, but for most of us, most normal people who are trading, 50, 100, 500, maybe a couple thousand, the fee percentage is going to be about the same.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but that is something you need to take into consideration when you set a target. If you're on Coinbase Pro and you're trying to get out with a 0.2 or 0.5, the opposite of what Jared wants to do, then your fees are going to take a quarter to a third of your profit, and that's no fun. So you need to find setups that are a little bit beyond that. But most of the things we talk about on here are the fees are going to be an issue, but negligible at best.
Okay.
What sort of dollar value do different people put in trades? I'm normally around 100 to 250 per trade. What do other people do?
you'd have to ask him and see. That's a little bit of a personal question, but you know, I've done trades. Most of my spot trades now are a few $100s. You know, as I mentioned earlier, with leverage, I usually go between 5x and 10x to, you know, get more bang for the buck out of those. But obviously the losses can pile up too, so it's you know, it's a little bit dangerous. I've gone in my spot trading with ladder buying into, you know, 4 and 5 positions of several $1,000s, and that'll keep you up at night. So
That'll get you real nervous.
yeah. So, but if, you know, if I'm going to use that strategy, I usually have to see it through, and I usually have an exit strategy too. Usually just on the spot side, it's just like, okay, then I'm either going to take a loss or I'm going to pull this off the exchange and stake it somewhere for 3 months. And, you know, but if it inhibits my ability to trade, then I usually have to sell it and take a loss. Didn't quite answer your question, but you probably have to talk to other traders to see, you know, how much they're comfortable trading and dollar values.
If well, for me, I'm not afraid to tell you what I trade, and so I started with a pool of $1,000. I couldn't really afford more, and I started with the 1, 2, 3 dip method, you know, and following everything that they said. You know, I was very afraid to put more than $100 on my first trade, knowing that I might have to ladder buy in, right?
Mhm.
And but then as my confidence grew, then I started you know, trading a little more than that and a little more than that. And then I want to go back to Jared's question about percentages. I started realizing a higher percentages, the more I was afraid to get out, right? I was trying to ride it as far as I could, and then it would tank on me. So I stopped being afraid to get out of a trade, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. You cannot, I learned the hard way not to be an emotional buy on the coins that I'm currently trading. Get in, get out, and take the profit. Increased my percentages, and then compounding. I've slowly and gradually grown my my balance that I trade with.
And Michael perfectly describes the approach that very similar to my experience when I got started in day trading, of piling up your small percentage wins. If you set a plan to get out at 1, 2, or 3%, you achieve that, that's a good trade. I don't care if it goes to 50% up beyond that. So that's, you know, sort of the other side of what he talked about, is not being afraid to get out, but go ahead and take your, you know, your profits. And there are ways to maximize that if something's pumping at your, you know, at your point of exit. You know, you can, you know, some exchanges have a trailing stop. You know, you can use an OCO function. You can set a stop loss in profit. I do that with some frequency. But
Sorry, OCO function, what's that?
yeah, it's called one cancels the other. Binance has it, and FTX has it, and I think Bybit has it too. And that's when you can set a stop loss and an exit in the same order, so that when one of those is hit, the other one's canceled. So
Okay.
a lot of people use it to straddle their position, to set a stop loss that's a loss, and then like at 1%, and then maybe a profit at 1.5 or 2% or 3%. I've done some of that before, but I didn't care for it. So usually what I do is, if I'm at my computer and I'm near my exit strategy, and you know, the coin's starting to do this, shooting up, then I'll cancel my sell order, do an OCO with the lower value being in profit. So I'm protected. So I know I'm getting in profit. Then maybe I'll set that OCO another 2 or 3% higher. Or I'll just sit there and watch it. But I don't like to do that very often, but if something's pumping, it's a lot of fun.
I got in on ACH on when it came on Coinbase. This was not very long ago. And I mean, it came in and it soared. And I said, okay, fine, I'm all in. And so I took everything I had, I bought all the ACH I could, and I turned it into $4,000 in about half an hour.
That's awesome. If you can catch
And
that.
I was doing the happy dance, right? And and I'm still waiting for another one of those opportunities, but they don't come. I guess that, they don't come around very often.
No,
And I just came into that by accident. Not anything I planned at all.
well, I mean, the Altcoin Alert, Slack group has, alerts, through the Slack group announcements of significant developments, or SIGDEVs, that's what they're called. And I've acted on those before, and not with results quite what you described, but I've gotten 5 to 10% before on some new listings. So those are powerful. We're not going to be first to those. The insiders are going to be first. So that's it's a little tricky, but I find that some of the Coinbase Pro and the Binance listings, those are the two that really move the market. They spike up, they sometimes drop, and then maybe later, a couple hours later, they'll start to go up again as more and more people who didn't hear the first time find out about it. So
Those significant developments are in the Altcoin Alert as well. That's where they come from. So you
right.
can actually see them there earlier if you're watching it.
Yeah, that Slack channel is really nice to have. Well, because they brought that into Altcoin Alert now, right?
Well, yeah, it's always been a
Well,
part of it, but
it's the other way around, I think. The alerts come from Altcoin Alert to Slack. That's where they come from, is my understanding.
Okay. Yeah, that was very powerful when I joined. I enjoyed the.
yeah. So if you go to the dashboard, you'll see those over here on the right.
Yeah, or up in the top, you can go to news alerts.
Yeah, so that's reverse chronological order. I've had some success with these partnerships too. I looked at this morning and then I got distracted. I never did find out what happened. Matic is a bigger player than Anchor, so that might have. I don't know if that in and of itself would move the market, but let's see if Anchor moved today. Yeah, so that came down 9:06 my time. And yeah, I'm not seeing it did trend up slightly. I guess it was right about here. Yeah, I really don't think this movement. I've had 5 and 10% on announcements like this. And then when I posted in the group, Terry or Alan will say, well, did that really cause the, your profit, or was it just the movement or the technical analysis? And it's like, I don't know, but it brought it to my attention. That's all I care about. So whatever brings a coin to my attention that I can look at and then make money off of, I'm happy. So,
right.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are at about 50 minutes, which is longer than we usually do on Friday. So I'll go ahead and wrap this up unless there's some urgent pressing issue. Okay. All right.
I just want to say, my husband used to say it's better to take a little bit of something is better than all of nothing.
Indeed.
So I keep thinking of that.
Absolutely.
Never apologize for taking profit. So.
True statement.
Right. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording.